Today we are going to discuss the topic about working and principle of synchronous generator. A mechanical power can be converted into electrical power, that is called alternator or synchronous generator. They also consist of armature winding and magnetic field, but they no important of difference between two. Whereas DC generator, the armature rotated. Construction details. The synchronous generator has two different tasks. One is stator and another one is rotor. Stator, it is a stationary part of the machine and it built up sheet steel lamination having slot on its inner periphery, and winding is placed in slot and serves as armature winding of the alternator. Winding is always connected in star and neutral is connected to ground. It is the connection of stator winding. Rotor. The rotor carries a field winding which supplied with direct current through the slip rings. Rotor construction, two different types, that is salient pole type and smooth cylindrical type. Salient pole type. This type can be used for slow and moderate speed alternator. Salient pole cannot be employed in this high speed generator on account of very high peripheral speed and difficulty of mechanical strength. The salient pole are made up of thick steel lamination and it's fixed to rotor by dovetail joint. The pole pays are usually provided with slots for tamper winding. Those tamper winding can be used to preventing the hunting. The radial air gap length increases from the pole center to the pole tips so that flux distribution over the armature is sinusoidal and waveform generate EMF is sinusoidal. The field coils are placed on the pole pieces and connected in series. The ends of field winding can be connected to DC source through the slip rings. The special features of salient pole is a large diameter and short axial length. Poles shoes cover out 2/3 pole pitch. Poles are laminated to reduce the eddy current issue. The speed from 120 to 400 RPM. Smooth cylindrical type. In this type, rotor can be used for very high speed alternator driven by steam turbines. To reduce the peripheral velocity, to reduce the diameter of rotor and axial length increased. In this rotor have 2 or 4 poles. It consists of cylindrical steel fabricated mechanically and treated thermally. The coils are placed by steel. The slots over certain portion of the core and omitted from pole pieces. The special features of this type is small diameter and very long axial length. Less winding losses. The speed employed is from 1000 to 3000 RPM. Better dynamic balancing. Working principle of synchronous generator. The alternator works principle of electromagnetic induction when relative motion between conductor and flux through EMF. It's induced in the conductor. The DC generator also want the same principle. The only difference in practical alternator DC generator is that alternator conductor are stationary and field is rotating. But for understanding purpose of, we can always consider relative motion of conductor with respect to flux produced by the field winding. This is the two-pole alternator produced in the magnetic field circuits. Same is the working principle. Alternator in induced EMF. Thank you.